Hi everybody, it's Beth, and today I'm making fall decor using the Dollar Tree calendar. I grabbed one of the new Dollar Tree calendars, 2 of the Dollar Tree planks, a couple of stir sticks I get from Amazon, the Dollar Tree tumbling blocks, fresh linen chalk paint, burnt umber acrylic paint, Mod Podge, wood glue, hot glue, and some twine. First thing I did was gave the planks just a quick sanding. Next, I needed to glue together the planks. So on the inside edge of one of the planks, I put some of the wood glue, spaced it out, and then added some hot glue in between the wood glue, and then added the 2 planks together. And so I made sure that the nicer sides of the planks were going to be flush together. That's going to be the very front. So I made sure those parts were even, because sometimes these planks aren't completely even. So I made sure those ones were nice and flush together and glued those 2 together. And then took my stir sticks and held them up to both of those. Just marked a line with a pencil. And then took my Fiskars shears and cut off the excess. And then I just took the other one and lined it up, marked that one, and cut that one as well. And then after I had them cut, I added some wood glue to the stir sticks and then some hot glue. And I glued them to the back side of the planks, so it's the side that's a little bit rougher. And then after I had that all glued together, I painted the entire thing with 2 coats of the fresh linen chalk paint. Now, you probably didn't have to paint the front part of this, but I just like to paint the entire thing, so I did 2 coats. And then once it was dry, the front part, I did a generous coat of the Mod Podge and dried that layer completely. So I took a piece from the calendar and held it on the front and just put my tumbling tower block on the top and the bottom because I'm going to be making a frame, and just held it on there to see where I wanted the printing to be. Didn't want the frame to cover it too much. So once I had it where I wanted it, I put parchment paper over it and used my iron to iron it on, and that will reactivate the Mod Podge, making it stick down to the Mod Podge. So I just ironed it until it was completely adhered on there. And it makes it so there's no bubbles or wrinkles. And then after I had that all done, I did an outer layer of Mod Podge and then used my heating tool again to dry that layer. And once that was all dry, I just sanded the excess paper around the edge. And next I needed to make my frame. So I ended up using 22 tumbling blocks. And 2 of the blocks I needed to cut down. I measured out 1/2 inch on 2 of the blocks. So I just measured out those 1/2 inches and then marked them off and cut them with my miter shears. And then once I had both of those cut, I took 5 of the tumbling blocks and glued those together. And then I glued together the 1/2 inch on one set. And then I glued together another 5 tumbling blocks and then that other part from the piece I had cut. And then I made another set with the other piece of tumbling block I had cut. So you'll have 4 sets. I had set them aside and let them dry for a good hour and then covered them completely with the burnt umber acrylic paint, and I did 2 coats. So you'll have 4 sets, and 2 sets will have the 1/2 inch piece of tumbling block glued to the ends, and 2 of them will have the other half of those pieces that you had cut. And then once everything was dry, the pieces with the longer half cut pieces of tumbling block hot glued to the top of the sign. And then the 2 pieces that have the shorter tumbling block pieces cut, those will be hot glued to the outer edges. And that bottom piece again has the longer part of the tumbling block that was cut. So you can leave it like that and just hang it with some strong command strips, but I decided to add a twine hanger. So I just flipped it over and used my staple gun and put a couple of staples on the piece of twine, and then did the staples on the other side as well, and then added some hot glue over those staples just for extra stability. And that's it. Super cute and simple piece of fall decor. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video.